Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. On page 77, to become free from disease and to attain good fortune. It's from the Orgala Stotram, verse number 12. Dehi Saubhagyam Arogyam Dehi Me Paramam Sukham Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Vishojaki Om Eng Markandeo Vacha. Dehi Saubhagyam Arogyam Dehi Me Paramam Sukham Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Vishojaki Dehi Saubhagyam Arogyam Dehi Me Paramam Sukham Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Vishojaki Savali Surya Kaniko Yomanukta Teshtamat Nishaman Kurupati Nistaragata Tomava Dehi Sabaki Madhukam Dehi Me Parapamsakam Rupam Dehi Chayam Dehi Ashdehi Vishojaki Dehi Sabaki Madhukam Dehi Me Parapamsakam Rupam Dehi Chayam Dehi Ashdehi Vishojaki Mahamaka Pavita Katam Pandarajpa Sakupa Makavaka Savani Sana Yorabe Devi Sabaki Marakyam Dehi Me Paramamsakam Rupam Dehi Chayam Dehi Yasadehi Vishojaki. Before, then the verse from the Saptasati, from the Chandi Path, and then after, and this is the Udoy Shamput. And Udoy means rising, it means beginning, it means the beginning, it's like sunrise in the morning, and the rising of the energy within us, and we rise to a new level of awareness, and this is the Udoy Shamput. That was to become free from disease and to attain good fortune. Give beauty, freedom from disease. Give me supreme happiness. Give us your form. Give us victory. Give us welfare. Remove all hostility. Number 14, to get an excellent spouse. I believe that they're out there. Athar, or this is from the Orgala Stotram, verse number 24. Pating Manora Bandegi, Manorita, Usarinim, Tarinim, Durgasansara, Sakratya, Kublobaba, Omeng, Markandeo Acha, Pating Manora Bandegi, Manorita, Usarinim, Tarinim, Durgasansara, Sakratya, Kublobaba. Patni Madora Pandaki Madorita Misarinim Tarinim Dragasansara Sagrasya Kulo Pabam Sabari Sudyastaniko Yomaduka Teshtamandi Samaya Katupati Visraka Tatomama Patni Madora Pandaki Madorita Misarinim Tarinim Dragasansara Sagrasya Kulo Pabam Patni Madora Pandaki Madorita Misarinim Tarinim Dragasansara Sagrasya Kulo Pabam Hamaka Bubabina Hamka Pataradi Basabuba Hamaka Sarpanistan Gurbe Patni Madora Pandaki Madorita Tarinim Tarinim Dragasansara Sagrasya Kulo Pabam. Give me a wife or a spouse in harmony with my mind, who follows the changes of mind and who can lead a family of noble birth across the difficulties of the ocean of objects and their relationships. Now, the question was asked, how can we perform a homa with the Samput pot? And the way we will do it is Patning Manora Bandaki, Manorita Visarinim, Tarinim, Durga Sansara, Sagrasya Kutlopabam Swa, Omeng Markadeo Vajaswa, Patning Manora Bandaki, Manorita Visarinim, Tarinim, Durga Sansara, Sagrasya Kutlopabam Swa. Patning Manora Bandaki, Manorita Visarinim, Tarinim, Durga Sansara, Sagrasya Kutlopabam Swa, Mahavakya Vipabinandara, Pampatu Chandi Path, Sabuba, Mahavakya Sarpatistana Kurveswa, Patning Manora Bandaki, Manorita Visarinim, Tarinim, Durga Sansara, Sagrasya Kutlopabam Swa. Well, that's fine as you were reading the basic part of the text, but let's go to the 5th chapter in the Devi Shukta. Here, let's just choose one or two. Patni Manora Pandaki Madova Tavan Sadanim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Yadi Visara Bhutishu Sati Rupena Samsitana Mustasi Swan Patni Manora Pandaki Madova Tavan Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Patni Manora Pandaki Madova Tavan Sadanim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Namastasi Swan Patni Manora Pandaki Manora Taranim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Patni Manora Pandaki Manora Taranim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Namastasi Namo Namaswa Patni Manora Pandaki Manora Taranim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Patni Manora Pandaki Manora Taranim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Yadi Visara Bhutishu Krishna Rupena Samsitana Mustasi Patni Manora Pandaki Manora Taranim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Patni Manora Pandaki Manora Taranim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Namastasi Swa Patni Manora Pandaki Manora Taranim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Patni Manora Pandaki Manora Taranim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan Namastasi Namo Namaswa Patni Manora Pandaki Manora Taranim Taranim Jagasamsara Sagrasya Lopa Paswan. Wherever you offer an oblation, there you get one mantra before each sloka and one mantra after. Each of the 700 ahutis gets one mantra before and one mantra after. Number 15, to remove all obstacles. Sarvapada Prashnavatan Trilokyasya Kadeswari Eva Meva Trayakri Basmaji Vidasam Swasta Oming Markadevacha Swam Sarvapada Prashnavatan Trilokyasya Kadeswari Eva Trayakri Basmaji Vidasam Swam Sarvapada Prashnavatan Trilokyasya Kadeswari Eva Trayakri Basmaji Vidasam Swam Sarvapada Prashnavatan Trilokyasya Kadeswari Eva Trayakri Basmaji Vidasam Swam Sapari Suri Tani Guru Guru Karta Deshmani Sapai Yugati Veturaja Tatoma Vasva Sarvapada Prashnavatan Trilokyasya Kadeswari Eva Trayakri Basmaji Vidasam Swam Sarvapada Prashnavatan Trilokyasya Kadeswari Eva Trayakri Basmaji Vidasam Swam Amakya Padana Yama Paparati Basabu Baba Amakasapani Tani Guru Vesva Sarvapada Prashnavatan Trilokyasya Kadeswari Eva Trayakri Basmaji Vidasam Swam. One before and one after, all throughout the text. Number 16, to give birth to excellent fate and welfare. Te samatati namadeshu danani te sham yasansvi dati tati dhyadharmavaga danyasti bamrita mamrita dara kisvam yudoyata bhavati prasindasvam omaki markandeo vachasvam Te samatati namadeshu danani te sham yasansvi dati dharmavaga danyasti bamrita mamrita dara kisvam yudoyata bhavati prasindasvam Te samatati namadeshu danani te sham yasansvi dati Dharmavaga Ganyati Pamrita Pamrita Dara Yisam Yudoyata Bhakti Prasanasva Sarvani Surya Karyo Gamrukata Teshma Nisham Haidrupati Nisrakya Tatamavasa Tisamata Janapati Shudanati Tesham Yasam Sindata Siddhati Dharmavaga Ganyati Pamrita Pamrita Dara Yisam Yudoyata Bhakti Prasanasva to destroy the pain of affliction. Oh, let's read the translations. Number 15 is from chapter 11, verse 39. O Spirit of the Supreme Sovereign, terminate all disturbance in the three worlds and in like manner remove from us all hostility. Number 16, O you who are the grantor of all welfare, those with whom you are pleased are certainly respected in their country. They are endowed with welfare, and their acts of wisdom and harmony do not perish. They are blessed by the devotion of their children, wives, and servants. To destroy the pain of affliction, Durga smita harsi biti masi sadantas vasi smita mati mati vasamam dadasi daridra dukmaya vidikatanya sarvapakara karinaya sadavrati tasva omai margandeo vachasva mam Durga smita harsi biti masi sadantas vasi smita mati mati vasamam dadasi daridra dukmaya vidikatanya sarvapakara karinaya sadavrati tasva Durga smita siviti mashicharato swasti smita mati vasamandasi daridra dukmaya vidikatanya sarvapakara karinaya sadavrati tasva sapani surikatani gokumanagata tesmani samaya durvati visragata tomasva Durga smita siviti mashicharato swasti smita mati vasamandasi daridra dukmaya vidikatanya sarvapakara karinaya sadavrati tasva Durga smita siviti mashicharato swasti smita mati vasamandasi daridra dukmaya vidikatanya sarvapakara karinaya sadavrati tasva O reliever of difficulties, remembering you, the fear of all living beings is dispelled. When remembered by those individuals in the harmony of spiritual growth, you increase their welfare and intelligence. Who is like you, O dispeller of poverty, pain, and fear, whose sympathetic demeanor always extends compassionate assistance to everyone? Who is like you, monk? To acquire protection. Sudhira Pakino Devi Paki Kakina Champike Kantasvanina Lapani Chapachani Svanina Chasva Mayim Harkadeo Hachasva Sudhira Pakino Devi Paki Paka Kakina Champike Kantasvanina Lapaki Chapachani Svanina Chasva Sudhira Pakino Devi Paki Kakina Champike Kantasvanina Lapaki Chapachani Svanina Chasva Sapadi Suryataniko Gumurpata Tishvadi Samaya Dupati Nisrad Katato Mamasva Sudhira Pakino Devi Paki Kakina Champike Kantasvanina Lapaki Chapachani Svanina Chasva O Goddess, protect us with your spear, Mother of the universe, protect us with your sword, protect us with the sound of your bell, and protect us with the twang of your bowstring. Number 19, to achieve all knowledge and to perceive all women as divine mother. Vidyasmastasva Devi Vedas Priyasmastasakala Jagatsu Prayekaya Puritamama Yukatati Suti Sabi Prapropiti Swa Omiki Markandeo Bachasva Vidyasmastasva Devi Vedas Priyasmastasakala Jagatsu Prayekaya Puritamama Yukatati Suti Sabi Prapropiti Swa Vidyasmastasva Devi Vedas Priyasmastasakala Jagatsu Prayekaya Puritamama Yukatati Suti Sabi Prapropiti Swa Sapati Suryatanago Gurukatati Swa Dishama Indrupati Nisrad Gatatomasa Vidyasmastasva Devi Vedas Priyasmastasakala Jagatsu Prayekaya Puritamama Yukatati Suti Sabi Prapropiti Swa One before and one after with the Chandi Path in the middle. O Goddess, all that is knowable are your various distinctions, and all women in the world reflect your capacity entirely. But by you, O Mother, this world is filled. For you who are beyond praise, how can we sing of your glory? Number 20, to attain all manner of welfare. Sakhamangla Mangaye, Sive Sarvata Sadike, Randatamake, Gorinara, and the most of this fire, Omay, Markandeo Vachasva, on Sakhamangla Mangaye, Sive Sarvata Sadike, Randatamake, Gorinara, and the most of this fire. To the auspicious of all auspiciousness, to the good, to the accomplisher of all objectives, to the source of refuge, to the mother of the three worlds, to the goddess who is rays of light, exposer of consciousness, we bow to you. To acquire greater energy, Srishti Titi Vinasanam Sakdute Sanatani Gunashake Kirmai Daragani the Boston Swami Markate Vachasva Srishti Titi Vinasanam Sakdute Sanatani Gunashake Kirmai Daragani the Boston Swami Srishti Titi Vinasanam Sakdute Sanatani Gunashake Kirmai Daragani the Boston Swami Sarvani Surkatani Gogumbrukate Swami Samai Drupati Nisrat Gatatoma Masva Srishti Titi Vinasanam Sakdute Sanatani Gunashake Kirmai Daragani the Boston Swami. You are the eternal energy of creation, preservation, and destruction in all existence, that upon which all qualities depend, that which limits all qualities, exposer of consciousness, we bow to you. To achieve satisfaction, Pranayama Prasidatvam Devi Visvartiyarini Trilokavasnavini Lokanam Pradapavasva Omeng Markandeya Vachasva Pranayama Prasidatvam Devi Visvartiyarini Trilokavasnavini Lokanam Pradapavasva Pranayama Prasidatvam Devi Visvartiyarini Trilokavasnavini Lokanam Pradapavasva Sapani Suryatanayo Kumurukadeteshman Visham Mayurupati Gatatoma Masva Pranayama Prasidatvam Devi Visvartiyarini Trilokavasnavini Lokanam Pradapavasva. O Goddess, remover of the sufferings and calamities of the universe, be gracious to us who bow down to you. You are worthy of praise by the inhabitants of the three worlds. Grant the best to all the worlds. So the Samputs is continually reinforcing these positive energies and values and vibrations within the worshipper, just as we are reciting the Chandi, to be saved from various problems. Raksansi yatra kabi satadika yatra vakoda shibalan yatra davaralo yatra tadhapi bhakti tatrasti tatvam paripasi vishwan svami markandeya vachasva Raksansi yatra kabi satadika yatra vakoda shibalan yatra davaralo yatra tadhapi bhakti tatrasti tatvam paripasi vishwan svami Raksansi yatra kabi satadika yatra vakoda shibalan yatra davaralo yatra tadhapi bhakti tatrasti tatvam paripasi Sapani Suryatanayo Kumurukadeteshman Vishamai Drupati Nisrat Gatatoma Masva Raksansi Yatra Vishatadaka Yatra Gocheshimalani Yatra Davralo Yatra Tadhapi Bhakti Tatrasti Tatvam Paripasi Vishwan Svami. Where there are demons of confused thoughts, serpents of dreadful poison, where there are foes and mighty hosts of robbers, where there is a great conflagration, in the midst of the sea of objects and their relationships, you stand and save the universe. To be free from obstacles and be blessed with wealth and children. Sarvabhadra Shamana Trilokyasya Kileshri Evameva Priyatra Masvati Vinasam Sva Omegim Markandeya Vachasva Sarvabhadra Shamana Trilokyasya Kileshri Evameva Priyatra Masvati Vinasam Sva Sarvabhadra Shamana Trilokyasya Kileshri Evameva Priyatra Masvati Vinasam Sva. O Spirit of the Supreme Sovereign, terminate all disturbance in the three worlds and in like manner remove from us all hostility. To achieve enjoyment and liberation, bhukti mukti. Videhi Devi Kagana Videhi Paramamshiyam Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Svam Dhamaki Markadeo Vachasvam Videhi Devi Kagana Videhi Paramamshiyam Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Svam Devi Kagana Videhi Paramamshiyam Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Svam Sabani Surya Tanako Yomru Katatesman Nismai Rupati Kasra Katatoma Devi Devi Kalkana Devi Paramamshiyam Rupam Devi Jayan Devi Yasri Visuddhati Svam. O Goddess, grant welfare, grant supreme prosperity. Give us your form, give us victory, give us welfare, and remove all hostility. To destroy sin and acquire devotion. Now let's go to chapter 4. And on page 176, after Om Rishi Ruvacha, Natavya Sarvada Bhaktya Chanike Duritavake Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Svam Sakraya Suratna Devi Devi Destin Duratni Surari Bali Sade Yankat Yasiru Pranatim Ramrasa Rodran Sabhavi Varshagala Gogamatu Rudayasva Natavya Sarvada Bhaktya Chanike Duritavake Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Svam Natavya Sarvada Bhaktya Chanike Duritavake Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Vadidya Tatamidranjala Prachatyandi Sesa Devatanasa Tismamotya Dhamma Mikamapira Jai Dima Chupujam Bhaktya Taspamidata Jishubani Sanasa Natavya Sarvada Bhaktya Chandika Duritapati Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Svam Dehi Sarvada Bhaktya Chandika Duritapati Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Svam Yasya Prabhava Tuzam Bhagavanta Nantu Brahmanta Dhati Bhakti Balamalakcha Sajanika Makya Jagat Paripalam Nayan Dasaya Sasabasyamati Kurotasva Natavya Sarvada Bhaktya Chandika Duritapati Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Svam Dehi Natavya Sarvada Bhaktya Chandika Duritapati Rupam Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasri Visuddhati Svam. So remember in chapter 4, each shloka, each verse is 4 lines long, and where the 2 vertical matras appear at the end, not the one, but the 2 vertical matras appear, that means ahuti or that means samput. To attain heaven and liberation. Sarvabhutaya Devi Svartabhukti Pradayani Tvam Stuta Sutaika Bhavam Tu Parmokta Sva Omeng Markandeya Vachasva Sarvabhutaya Devi Svartabhukti Pradayani Tvam Stuta Sutaika Bhavam Tu Parmokta Sva Sarvabhutaya Devi Svartabhukti Pradayani Tvam Stuta Sutaika Bhavam Tu Parmokta Sva Sarvani Surya Numruta Tesman Nishamaya Rupati Visra Gatatovama Sva Sarvabhutaya Devi Svartabhukti Pradayani Tvam Stuta Sutaika Bhavam Tu Parmokta Sva. O Goddess, bestower of heaven and liberation, you are all existence. When you have been thus extolled, what else can be sung of your glory? And it goes on further to say whether it's true or untrue, if it's in my mind, if I can think it, it's you. Whether it's a validity or a fallacy is of no consequence. It's in my mind, it has existence. There is no existence without you. Again, to attain heaven and liberation, Sarvachibudi Rupena Chanachibidi Santide Swarga Pavagari Devi Narayani Devasu Tesvamani Markandeya Vachasva Sarvachibudi Rupena Chanachibidi Santide Swarga Pavagari Devi Narayani Devasu Tesvamani Sarvachibudi Rupena Chanachibidi Santide Swarga Pavagari Devi Narayani Devasu Tesvamani Samarni Suryatan Yogamrukata Tesvamani Shamai Rupati Mitraka Tatuma Sva Sarvachibudi Rupena Chanachibidi Santide Swarga Pavagari Devi Narayani Devasu Tesvamani. You reside in the hearts of all living beings in the form of intelligence. You bestow upon your devotees heaven and liberation. O Goddess, exposer of consciousness, we bow to you. to attain liberation. One Vaishnavi Satyaranatha Virya Viswashavi Champarmasmaya Sanoitam Devi Samastanita Pamaki Prasana Bhuri Mukti Yetusva Omeng Markate Vachasva One Vaishnavi Satyaranatha Virya Viswashavi Champarmasmaya Sanoitam Devi Samastanita Pamaki Prasana Bhuri Mukti Yetusva Tvam Vaishnavi Satyaranatha Virya Viswashavi Champarmasmaya Sanoitam Devi Samastanita Pamaki Prasana Bhuri Mukti Yetusva Tvam Vaishnavi Satyaranatha Virya Viswashavi Champarmasmaya Sanoitam Devi Samastanita Pamaki Prasana Bhuri Mukti Yetusva Sabani Surjatano Gumrukata Desmandi Samai Rupatim Disrad Gatatum Masvat Hom Vaishnavi Satyaranatha Virya Viswashavi Champarmasmaya Sanoitam Devi Samastanita Pamaki Prasana Bhuri Mukti Yetusva Hom Vaishnavi Satyaranatha Virya Viswashavi Champarmasmaya Sanoitam Devi Samastanita Pamaki Prasana Bhuri Mukti Yetusva. You are the energy of the consciousness that pervades all of infinite valor, the seed of the universe, that which is beyond limitation. By you, O Goddess, all is deluded by attachment, and if you are gracious, you are the cause of liberation in this world. Number 30, to know whether a dream is true or untrue. Durge Smitana Durge Devi Namastuvyam Kasarvakarta Sadike Mam Siddhis Visidamba Swapnis Parvam Pratashakasva Naomaki Markadeo Achasva Durge Devi Namastuvyam Sarvakarta Sadike Mam Siddha Visidamba Swapnis Parvam Pratashakasva Durge Devi Namastuvyam Sarvakamarta Sadike Mama Siddhi Vasidamba Swapni Sarvam Pratashakasva Sapani Surikataniko Gumrukata Deshmani Smayandrupati Nisrat Gatatomasa Durge Devi Namastuvyam Sarvakamarta Sadike Mama Siddhi Vasidamba Swapni Sarvam Pratashakasva. Oh Goddess Durga, we bow down to you, giver of the objects of all desires to sadhus. Show me all of my attainments and failures in my dreams. Well, these are an example of some of the Udoy Samputs that we can perform. Udoy means rising, and it's when a sadhu reaches the level of attainment where he or she is qualified to practice the Samputs. This is the rising. This gives birth. And there are many other Samputs that you can use. Trambakam yajamake sakandi pushti bharnam urparakam bandhanam ritumak shiyamamitan omei markandeo acha. Trambakam yajamake sakandi pushti bharnam urparakam bandhanam ritumak shiyamamitas. And, you know, there's the lone be lone Samput on the Trambakam Samput. So you'd say, Jum Sa Burgubaspa Trambakam Yajamake Sugandi Pushti Bardhanam Urbarakam Dibandhanam Ritumik Shiyamamitaswa Bur Sa Jum Spa Omai Markadeo Acha Swa Jum Sa Burgubaspa Trambakam Yajamake Sugandi Pushti Bardhanam Urbarakam Dibandhanam Ritumik Shiyamamitaswa Bur Sa Jum Spa Jum Sa Burgubaspa Trambakam Yajamake Sugandi Pushti Bardhanam Urbarakam Dibandhanam Ritumik Shiyamamitaswa Bur Sa Jum Spa Sabani Suryataniko Yamarukata Tisman Disam Rupati Drat Gatatomasva Jum Sa Burgubaspa Trambakam Yajamake Sugandi Pushti Bardhanam Urbarakam Dibandhanam Ritumik Shiyamamitaswa Bur Sa Jum Spa. And so there are many, many combinations, and these all fit into the Udoy Samput as you're rising up. And if you want to check on the validity of any mantra as a Samput mantra, or the meaning of it, or the application of it, or whether it can be used, is it appropriate to use it, send us an email. We'll be glad to tell you how to do it. But now let's move on to the Ast Samput. And I know it's going to take a while for most of you to get to the Samput. The Samput means the culmination. And I wanted to put this, and I think I made a note somewhere in the book, that just to preserve this tradition, I wanted to make sure that it was down in writing somewhere, because these are things that have not been translated. In fact, they only exist in Sanskrit. In the Samput, there are 5 mantras for every verse. Instead of one before and then the mantra and then one after, there were 3. That makes the Saptasati, 700 times 3 is 2100. Now in the Samput, there are 5 mantras for each verse. First we take the Samput mantra and pronounce it Siddha. And then we take the Samput mantra and pronounce it Ulta. And then we do the Saptasati mantra. And then we do the Samput mantra Ulta. And then the Samput mantra Siddha. So that makes 700 times 5 is 3,500 mantras. It takes, well, I've done it in 8.5 hours. But it should take somewhere between 8 and 10 hours to perform. I'm using the mantra in this book, Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. That's Siddha. Now Ulta, Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane. Om Eng Markandeo Vacha. Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. Siddha, Ulta, the Saptasati mantra, Ulta, Siddha. That makes one mantra. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Om Eng Markandeo Vacha. Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Savani Surjatani Kautumaro Katate Smandi Samaya Patin Turada Tatomava. Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate. And other than the length of the asana, one of the biggest difficulties in this practice is to maintain the focus so you remember where you are. Are you Siddha or are you Ulta? Now, this sounds very, very, very interesting with ahuti, with oblations at the fire. It's really a fun practice because, pay attention please. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Swaha. Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Swaha. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Om Eng Markandeo Vacha Swaha. Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Swaha. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Swaha. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Swaha. Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Swaha. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Savani Surjatani Kautumaro Katate Smandi Samaya Patin Turada Tatomava. Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Swaha. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane. Saranagata Dinartha Puritrana Parayane Sarvashyarti Are Devi Narayani Namaskate Swaha. Siddha, Ulta, forwards, backwards, the Saptasati mantra, backwards, forwards. And I want to talk about one other vidhi, which is called the Shat akshar vidhi. And actually, shat akshar means 100 letters. Shat akshar is 100 letters, and this is a scriptural tradition. It was my desire to perform this vidhi during this sankalpa, but I haven't gotten there yet. I've been able to perform the Samput, but I have not been able to perform the Shatakshar vidhi yet. It'll take some time. It comprises 100 syllables. It has 3 mantras before, comprising 100 syllables. The Jatavedase mantra is in Trishtup Chanda. The Gayatri mantra is in Gayatri Chanda, and the Triambakam mantra is in Anshtup Chanda. The Trishtup Chanda has 11 syllables to the quarter of the verse. That's 22 to first line and 22 to the second line, so that makes 44 syllables plus 32 syllables plus 24. Somebody do the math? Mathematicians? 44 and 24 is 68, and 32 is 100. And that's the Shat Akshar mantra, or the Shat Akshar vidhi, how you pronounce 100 syllables. But there's a kicker. This is what we call dakshina. Om, Bur, Bhuva, Swaha. That's 5 syllables. So the Shat Akshar vidhi actually has 105 syllables, because Gayatri, Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya, has 24 syllables from Tat, plus 5 syllables Om, Bur, Bhuva, Swa. That's 5. That's 105 syllables. So what it sounds like, and if I ever get the opportunity to do it, Om Jata Veda Siktu Gapam Sumam Arati Kapina Dahati Bita Hasana Prashadati Durgani Viswan Veda Sindhu Duratatni Om Gurba Baswata Taritur Barinyam Marga Bashadi Maki Yoga Lapra Chodayatum Trambakam Yajamati Suganti Pushti Bhatnam Urbarakam Vibandanam Richumakshimamitas Om Markadeo Vacha Om Jat Veda Siktu Gapam Sumam Arati Kapina Dahati Bita Hasana Prashadati Durgani Viswan Veda Sindhu Duratatni Om Gurba Baswata Taritur Barinyam Marga Bashadi Maki Yoga Lapra Chodayatum Trambakam Yajamati Suganti Pushti Bhatnam Urbarakam Vibandanam Richumakshimamitas. And with the Swaha, Om Jatri Setuna Pamasamamarat Katanita Vidasana Prashadati Durgana Viswanda Veva Sindhuri Tatni Swam Gurvavata Tatamidur Barinyam Bhagavata Maki Yoga Namra Chodaya Swara Kamjamaki Suganti Pushti Bhatnam Urbarakam Yandam Richumakshimamitas Swah. Sabani Surya Yoga Mrukata Desman Nishaman Rupati Visragata Tumabasam Jatmi Setuna Pamasamamarat Katanita Vidasana Prashadati Durgana Viswanda Veva Sindhuri Tatni Swam Gurvavata Tatamidur Barinyam Bhagavata Maki Yoga Namra Chodaya Swah. Grabakam Yajani Suganti Pushti Bhatnam Urbarakam Vibandanam Richumakshimamitas Swah. And that should take, when you're good, it'd be 12 hours, 10, 11 hours to 13 hours would be the length of time it takes. Now, the reason we keep expanding the practice, we expand the asana, we expand the breath, we expand the space between the 2 breaths, and we expand the absorption of consciousness in the presence of the goddess. And that's the tapasya. So this book is a key all the way from the Chandi Path, just a 2-hour path from the Ratri Shukta to the Devi Shukta, all the way up to the Shat Akshar vidhi. This book tells us that first, don't worry about what other people say about your pronunciation. We know the Brahmin Gobil said, even Satyabrat said, And Saraswati herself came and gave him liberation. We know, don't be concerned about your jati, your gender, your birth, the skin color, your whatever. Don't think about the tapasya, the meaning and the method of what we're doing and the purifying austerity in which we can come closer to our objective. The devotion we exhibit by trying to expand our practice so we can be as clear and concise as possible, as exact and accurate as we can possibly become according to our capacity. That's our objective. Leave the people who will comment on our performance, they are cursed. That they're not thinking about God, they're thinking about how to put us down and raise themselves up by virtue of putting us down. Don't worry about it. The objective is to become totally submerged. This description of some of the advanced sadhanas that relate to the Chandi Path are by no means intended to suggest that seekers should try them on their own. Please, use some discrimination and understand what is your capacity. How long can you sit? How deeply can you breathe? How many verses can you do per breath? And then we will design a sadhana which is commensurate with your experience and your understanding, your knowledge and your capacity. Obviously, you should seek advice and direction from your guru as you proceed. You'll need it. Believe me, it's so easy to pass out in the middle of a verse and not know until you wake up. Because the longer the breath goes, the more oxygen goes to your brain, it's very easy just to lose consciousness or to go into samadhi. And that's not desirable either. If you go into samadhi, you won't finish the pot. And then your sankalpa is avduri. It's not complete, it's not fulfilled. The objective is to finish the pot and go into samadhi afterwards. My attempt here is to preserve some of the teachings from the oral traditions and from the Sanskrit traditions in a written form, and to empower seekers of the future with greater understanding. And that's why I compiled this. It is from classical scripture. It is a classical procedure. It is I have seen it performed by some sadhus, very few, but I have seen it. So I wanted to preserve it and to put it in a way where it could become useful to people who are striving with that sincerity. If you could just be in the same vicinity where such sadhanas are being performed, you would have a greater idea of the intensity of vibrations that flow from the continuous recitation of the Chandi Path according to the rules of Pranayama. This is the tapasya, the pranayama, the asana, the mudra, the pranayama, the understanding, the subtleties of the Sanskrit grammar, the vibrations that are flowing through us. Then attention becomes submerged into the vibrations of the goddess. We leave the apprehension of our bodies. I don't have a body. I'm nobody. And become witness to the meaning of the Chandi. I can see the drama going on in my own life. I can see the drama going on in the cosmic life. I see the application, the efficacy, the understanding of the Chandi is the drama of life. This is not a mythology. It's not a story of a history that something that happened way back then. It's something that's going on in our personal lives right now. Even as we study, even as we discuss, even as we talk about this subject. Rather than spending our time with critique of the accents or pronunciation of others, we appreciate every effort that sincere seekers make in the furtherance of their spiritual objectives, while at the same time we pursue our own. I mean, if you're spiritual, why are you looking to worry about the understanding of someone else. The fact that they are trying is sufficient to make them worthy of adoration, worthy of respect in our eyes. And now let us get greater inspiration to try ourselves even more and more and more. And there's a lot more to do. There's always more to do. I've got another book after this. There's a sequel. And I promise you, it will take some effort to get to the end of this book. Even though it's a short book, it will take some effort to get to the end. And I adjure you all, please, I encourage you to the best of your capacity, practice to sit. Now remember, these Samputs are only read in conjunction with a complete pot. So you have to read the book cover to cover, and then put the Samput in. It's not like you do a Siddha Path with Samput. This is to expand after you've reached the maximum that you can do while in the primary grades. Then you go to high school, which is the Udoy Samput, and then you go to college, which is the Asta Samput, and then you go to postdoc with the Shatak Sharvidhi, and then the research begins. Do we have any questions? Please go ahead.
Swamiji, there are times when I can sit in one asana for a Siddha Path and other times not. So should I not try to attempt to do cover to cover until my Siddha Path is
comfortable?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that would be the best. When you are regular, then move to the next stage. Until you are not regular, you'll be irregular. And you know that's no fun.
How should we concentrate our pranayama when we're doing the Samput? Should we try to do one breath like the Samput before the verse and the Samput after as one breath?
Just as you recite your Chandi Path, just so you will make the rhythm of your pranayama during the Samput mantras. And that means if you're reciting the Chandi at 2 verses to the breath, then you can incorporate your Samput mantra into the recitation of your Chandi and maintain the same rhythm throughout. Do not be up and down in your rhythm. Strive to maintain consistency in your rhythm of pranayama. Yes, please.
Swamiji, when we take a sankalpa to chant the part with the samput, there's a difference in how we say the sankalpa?
Yes, there is a different sankalpa. It will say, Ajajambuti Bay America Deshi, California Pradeshi, Napanagre, Devi Mandre, that's all the same. Sri Chandika Kamaha Puja Karmamaham Sri Durga Sapta Sati Samputam Patam. And then say the mantra that you're going to use. What mantra will you use for your Samput? Rings mantra iti Samputam mantra iti ohuti saha homamaham karishye or iti patamaham karishye.
Swamiji, and when we take a sankalpa to do part with samput, because we don't have so much time, is it possible to do part with samput just for 3 days or Navaratri 9 days?
Yes, you can take the sankalpa to do for 1 day, for 3 days, one pot at a time. You could do it for 3 days, you could do it for 108 days, you can do it for 1,000 days, you can do it for as long as you can do it. That will be the sankalpa.
Swamiji, question from Nanda San Jose.
Namaste, Nandama.
Swamiji, you have said many a time that we should chant the Chandi only with pure motives and not with selfish desires. But aren't some of the Samputs mentioned here are given for the purpose of satisfying some selfish desire?
No! The desire to be free from sin or to be free from division or to be full of devotion is not selfish desire. Because once you're free from sin, once you're free from confusion, once you achieve all knowledge to perceive all women as the Divine Mother, then you have the capacity to share even greater. So what you're requesting is a greater capacity to share with your world.
Swami Georgie from Brazil.
Jorge.
Yes, Swamiji. Maybe recite mantras for sadhana in places that are not consecrated for spiritual discipline like offices or hospitals.
Absolutely, Jorge, wherever you go with the Chandi Path, that will be a pure place. You have just consecrated it by your presence. Next.
Swamiji, Usha from Canada.
Namaste, Usha.
For the dhyanam and the longer verses, where does one pause?
If you can, don't pause. Not recommended to pause. Kargam chakragadesu chapaparitam chunambusining sarasankam sandada tindriya srinayanam sarvanga bhushabritam nilaspadudi kashapadadashakam sevi mahakalikam yamastasvapitero gamla joantabadakoitabam om namaschandikayagi. Please, don't pause. Just keep going.
Swamiji, a few more questions from Jorge. Is there a definite number of repetitions of the Udiya Samputs, like 108? And may the mantras described in this latter part be recited by themselves, the Samput mantras?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the last part.
Can the Samput mantras be recited standalone?
Yes, absolutely, Jorge. You can make japa of the Samputan mantra, and then that will make it more familiar to you, so that when you perform it with the Chandi Path, it'll roll off your tongue very easily. So that's the one thing. And the other question, can you?
How many repetitions?
How many repetitions? You will know when you achieve siddhi in the mantra. You will know when you achieve the attainment, because it'll be so natural to you. It'll be so comfortable to you. You won't have any movement in your asana. You won't have any deflection of your mind or your attention to your body. You'll feel empowered.
Swamiji, Kumari from Ballygo, it was mentioned that there are other forms of tapasya other than sitting before the fire. Reciting the Chandi while sitting in cold water, naked on snow, or surrounded by 5 fires. My question relates to these other forms of tapasya. What is their special purpose, and why would these other forms of sadhana be done?
Kumari, by going beyond pleasure and pain, by going beyond hot and cold, by de-recognizing our body, by focusing our attention exclusively on the text, on the relationship with the Divine Mother, we forget all the discomfort of the body, and after some time your awareness is out of the body. It's out of this world. And that's why. All these forms of tapasya, they should be performed. I adjure you, please perform them with the guidance of a guru. First learn to recite, and then we'll carry it to the next step of elongated recitation, and then we'll add the other aspects of going beyond the elements and going beyond the body. Yes, Gauri.
What does it mean, the Samput, to achieve satisfaction?
To achieve satisfaction is to place your mind in a state of perfect equilibrium, in a perfect state of satisfaction.
Swamiji, Nanda from San Jose has a question.
Yes, Nandama.
When one chants with a Samput, should one have the ability to chant at a minimum 3 verses to a breath?
No, there is no mathematical necessity. All that is required is that you are consistent. You could even sing, although it will take you for hours, Sarvapada Prashamanam Trailokyasya Jiveshwari Egami Bhadrayakargamaspati Vrividasanam Om Aim Markadeo Vacha. You can do a bhakti path with the Samput. There is no prohibition. However, I bet you got a sore bottom by the end of the pot.
Swamiji, Kumari has a question. Can other Samputs be used with the Chandi? For instance, verses from the Upanishads, or something very important to one's life at the time in the form of a phrase in English?
I've never heard of an English Samput, but I know you can use any mantra that is appropriate to be the Samputs with the Chandi, or not just the Chandi. You can do this with the Guru Gita. You can do this with the Kali Sahasranam. You could do this with, we do it with the Sundarkand. You can do the Samput sadhana with every text.
Swamiji, Wendy from New Jersey.
Yes, Wendy Ma.
Namaste Swamiji, it seems to me that sometimes the emphasis is on the precise pronunciation or the consistency of our asana, but sometimes the emphasis seems to be on our bhav and that it doesn't matter if we make other mistakes or imprecision. Could you please comment on this, Swamiji?
Yes, Wendy Ma, we are striving to have good pronunciation. We are striving to understand what we're saying. We're striving to have a good asana. But we're all students, so give us a break. If we make a mistake, we make a mistake. We're striving to attain godliness. At least we're doing something, taking affirmative action. We're trying to be better than we were.
Swamiji, I have a question. Right? There's a mantra on Srishti Sthiti,
Yes.
which says the benefit is to gain more energy.
Yes.
What is this energy that is referred to in this?
Shakti Bhute, all the energy of the universe. She has got the energy within all. This is her energy that we want. We want to achieve her.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yes, Gauri.
Also, Swamiji, there's several mantras or several samputs that are about liberation.
Yes.
What's the difference between them, or is it just whichever one comes?
Whichever one you choose, or whichever one is appropriate for you, or all of them. You can do them all.
You can digest.
Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.
It should go on and on. You should not finish.
I'm sorry, we ran out of tape in the camera.
Swamiji, the entire class says a big thank you from all of us. And also, may you be able to chant with 100 syllables Samput soon, and may we be privileged to be around you when you do so.
Namaste. In fact, the reality is, I can't chant with 100 syllables until you are around me. And that's the reality. It's only for the lack of your presence that I cannot do that sadhana. And that's the truth. I have one announcement. We had said that we would start the Kali Puja on Monday night, and I'm afraid that won't happen. We're going to do it on Tuesday night instead. So if any of you don't have your books, we will have time over the weekend to send them out. And if you would like to join us, we sure invite you. It's really a fun text. If you have any other questions about the pronunciation or the Chandi Samputs or about this text, you can ask them on the club, or you could email them to us. We'll be more than happy to try to answer. And thank you all for the privilege of sharing this. This was a project that was very, very dear to me, because this is not well publicized knowledge. So it was a very dear project for me to do, and I appreciate the opportunity to share it with you. Namaste.